Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Tuesday episode here of Winning Bets. I'm, of course, Jason Mattis, giving you guys some free sports picks every single day. We look forward to today's show. We've, of course, got to make sure we recap yesterday. We'll, of course, make sure we recap NFL week number 1. And in doing so, we'll, of course, give out $25 to the Pigskin Pick'em contest. And, of course, we'll break down the NFL Eliminator contest. We got Champions League going on today, another round there in the UEFA Champions League competition. So we look forward to getting into some bets on that. And then, of course, MLB continues to keep going along. And we look forward to breaking down today's slate and getting in some bets on that. With that being said, let's just go ahead and make sure we jump right into it. First of all, good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and throw the recap up. And again, hope everybody's morning is off to a nice start. Boy, tough day for us yesterday again. What about Tyler Anderson? Over 4.5 Ks. Can't be mad at the guy. Pitched 7 innings. 7 innings, no runs. Just couldn't strike out any Diamondbacks since he only got 2 strikeouts in that excellent outing by Tyler Anderson. Come up short right there. Mets F5 team total. Good bet. Just bad result. Just simply put right there. I simply would make that bet again. Just didn't quite go our way. What about that Nerfy, though, in Giants Braves? That one definitely came through for us. I couldn't tell you if it was sweat-free. It's generally sweaty just because of the nature of a Nerfy. But that being said, it was, during Monday Night Football, I was watching football. I don't know. All I know is I got the money in my pocket, and that's really all I care about. Monday Night Football certainly didn't go our way. First drive to end in a punt. A little upsetting right there. Geno Smith, completing a pass on that first third down. Guys in him getting bumped, and he stands in the pocket and makes a throw. Credit Geno Smith. I haven't seen him make that throw in his entire career with pressure in his face and pressure up the middle in his face. And then on the next third down, I mean, my man, the Broncos had a great blitz. The running back couldn't pick them over. The running back got bowled over, and he just misses Geno Smith. That puts it to where, are the Seahawks going to maybe go for it on fourth down? Or are they going to do a little punt and play field position and do a little pooch punt? I don't know. A lot could have been said right there if my man can bring him down. Because obviously with that sack, with them being in shotgun, he's going to lose 8 or so yards. There were 2 opportunities on those third downs to maybe get off the field with a punt or some sort of maybe go for it on fourth down, not be able to convert that. So then, of course, we lose that bet, and then DraftKings did their promo of the not score in the first drive. That's what NSFD stands for, no score first drive at even money. I like that. Obviously, I thought the game was going to have a punt, so of course I'm going to go in on that one when you get more possibilities. You get failed fourth down conversion, turnovers, missed field goal, got a whole slew of outs right there. Well, as we just said, Geno stepped up on that first drive, made a couple big-time throws. So, yeah, just give the guy credit. He made some big throws on that opening drive, so lose both of them. And then in terms of our parlay, Astros come through for us. No sweat winner right there, 7-0. Tigers still can't hit left-handed pitching, and they went up a good one yesterday in Valdez, so we like that. And then parlaying with the Broncos, watch the game like you guys did. I still don't know what we're paying Russell Wilson all that money for just to try out a game-winning field goal for a guy, McManus, who's never made a 64-yarder in his whole career. I'm not paying Russell Wilson $250+ million to not go for it. If I do for it, can we call a timeout with like 55 seconds? Do we have to waste 35 seconds to then decide that we want to go ahead and kick the field goal? What are we wasting all that time for? I don't know, just bad clock management right there. In the end, don't like the decision clearly. Even if it's a made field goal, I what are we doing? 64-yarder? So tough day. The only thing I'm really upset for in that is really just NFL week 1. I talked about it, on yesterday's show when we talked about how we had a losing week last week, and I was happy with the bets. It just didn't go our way. I was still happy with the bets. NFL week 1, I got text messages for days where it talked about just taking teams with points on week 1 because it's the big unknown, and why would you not take a team at home with points? So I'm a little frustrated with myself on week 1. Otherwise, I'm perfectly fine and happy with myself. Obviously, the results have been, dog shit, but happy with the process. But week 1, we're going to turn around in week 2. Again, maybe making those same mistakes in the NFL week 2. So unacceptable right there. Before we get on into the comments section, if there are any comments, let's go ahead and jump into the NFL. Let's do the Pigskin Pick'em contest first. Let's give away some daggone money on today's show. So there's the NFL Pigskin Pick'em contest. As you guys can see right there, we had a 2-way tie. We had Thad going up against Don. And, of course, because we use ESPN, we've talked about using ESPN rules and ESPN tiebreakers, so that's what we do. The tiebreaker for this contest is correctly predicting the Monday night score, who can get closer. Don comes in with 41, where Thad, I'm trying to go off the top of my head, he either had 43 or 44, so just missed out. Don, again, Don picked 41. That's obviously closer than 33, so we give the $25 away to Don. So Don, make sure you hit me up on Twitter, drop me your PayPal information, and I'll go ahead and send you $25. Otherwise, it's a good week. You know, 2 people go 11-5. You get some 10-5s in there, 10-6s. You can see I was middle of the pack. I went 8-8. Hopefully Thad and Don actually made some money. You go 11-5 in the NFL picking spreads. That should be a profitable week for you. So I hope Don and Thad were able to put some money in their pocket along the way while we had a lot of good fun. Boy, if you were picking teams on NFL Pigskin Pick'em contest, there were only 8 teams on this entire weekend that were able to cover the spread, laying points. You had the Bills, you had the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Commanders, the Browns, Chiefs, Chargers, and Bucks were the only 8 teams in the NFL that were laying points on the spread and were able to cover. How about that right there? The Commanders maybe a bit of a surprise. The Ravens, probably not a surprise. Bills and Dolphins, AFC East. Well, that could be a strong little division right there. I think the Bills-Dolphins could make a nice little 2-headed race in that AFC East. Of course, the Chiefs, they handled business against the Cardinals. The Chargers squeaked by the Raiders. I mean, they missed a failed 2-point conversion there at the end. They get that 2-point conversion. Now the Raiders are going to cover. This is the margins of picking spreads in the NFL are razor thin. And again, just look at that Raiders-Chargers game. A failed 2-point conversion gives the Chargers the cover against the spread as opposed to the Raiders covering the plus 3.5. And then again, the last team to cover the spread with laying points was the Buccaneers. The Cowboys looked atrocious. The Buccaneers were in control, even though they were just kicking field goals. That's a game where they dominated, but that score could have really gotten out of hand for the Cowboys if they were converting touchdowns instead of field goals. So congratulations to everybody. Fantastic week in NFL Week 1. Pick them. They had a damn good time. Let's talk some shit in this comment section. I want to give away $25 every week, and I will give away $25 every week. Let's get some shit talking going on in these comments. So, Don, lay some smack in the comment section. Let everybody know how you whooped up on them and you're going to run it back. And Thad, give them shit. Say, all right, you got lucky. You got lucky on a tiebreaker, but you ain't going to get lucky next week. I'm coming for you. So, let's get some smack being talked up in there. Let's go ahead now and change the discussion to the NFL Eliminator. And this is, of course, where I'm giving away $200 to whoever can last the longest. You guys remember we had 42 people enter this one. 17 people went down. 17. That is crazy to have 42 people enter the contest and lose 17 of those people on NFL Week 1. You can see right there the big one of the day was 11 people were winners with the Ravens. I look back on mine, and while I picked, I didn't pick a winner, I didn't pick a loser. Why did I not take the Ravens? why did I not take the Ravens against the Jets? Of course, that was such an easy play right there. Then you could see the biggest ones that took the biggest people down was Titans against the Giants. Lead the whole game except for the very end when the Giants go for 2, convert it, and they take their lead with 21-20. Otherwise, Titans are there. That was a tough one right there. Colts. I was on the Colts, as everybody knows, and that was a winner. Remember, we use ESPN, and I've mentioned it on all the videos. We use ESPN's rules, ESPN's tiebreakers, etc. Well, one of their rules is, and it's plainly simple, it's number 1. The objective is not to pick a winner. The objective is to not pick a loser, and it's circled right there, number 1. If your bet wins or ties, you advance on to the next week. So I picked the Colts. Obviously, I got extremely lucky. I don't want to pick ties. I want to actually pick winners. But I'll take it, and so will 3 other people along with me that also took the Colts. I thought for sure that was dead in the water. 20-3 going into the fourth quarter, and they rifle off 17 unanswered points to send that to overtime. And then obviously we know missed kicks galore in overtime, and nobody can seal it. But I'll move on to week 2. I did not want to sit here at week 1 coming off a loss, and thankfully I'm not coming off a loss, but that was damn close right there. 49ers, I don't get that one right there. A lot of people took the 49ers. If you guys watched my video on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, I was on the Bears. I picked the Bears to win that game. I didn't think there was much separation between the 49ers and Bears, so I was gladly going to take the Bears at home. That being said, once you add in the fact of the rain, I don't get 4 people. I don't get the 4 people taking the 49ers on that one. Eagles, good win over the Lions. It was sweaty. They were in control and had a sizable lead throughout, but the Lions hung close and kept it close and competitive. They covered the plus 4.5. So nice job though overall picking the Eagles. And then we had 3 people lose last night with the Broncos. Tough stuff. Shouldn't be losing to Geno Smith. And the Seahawks. Loved a couple wins there by the Commanders. Got a couple wins there by the Buccaneers. Saints. That was super sweaty, right? Thought for sure the Falcons were going to pull that one off. Seemed like every time they cut to NFL red zone, the Falcons were in the lead, or maybe they were kicking a field goal to retake the lead. They were there at home. Divisional dog. Credit to the people who picked the Saints. You squeaked out, but you love to see it right there. A couple people decided not to pick. That's unfortunate. Bengals, another tough one. You can't be losing. The Steelers don't get better going for Ben Roethlisberger and Mitchell Trubisky. You don't get better making that kind of move. So, but they hung around these NFL division matchups, and I was, I fault myself because I did a divisional matchup. The divisional matchups are tough, and especially tough in week one. So tough loss there by the Bengals and Dolphins. I actually thought that was one of maybe the better picks of all the weekend. I've got a cousin who's a Dolphins fan, so we've been chatting it up heavy the last couple weeks as the season's been ramping up. And of course, with him being a Dolphins fan, he equally hates the Patriots and everything about the Patriots. So I like that. I actually thought the Dolphins, I wish I would have taken the Ravens, but I think if I don't go Ravens, I like that Dolphins pick. Thought that was really good. And then the Panthers, obviously I thought the Panthers were going to win the game, but I sure as hell wouldn't pick them in the eliminator. I'm never going to pick Baker Mayfield in no eliminator contest, but tough stuff. I mean, you're winning the game until a rookie makes a game-winning field goal. So tough stuff right there. But 25 people, including myself, we march on to week 2 to see who can pick. Well, I guess I need to change what I said. Not pick a winner. Who cannot pick a loser. 25 people still alive for a chance to win $200. Good stuff right there, guys. Absolutely good stuff right there. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this comment section. Hope everybody, again, is having a great, fantastic morning. Let's get after it. Good morning. Got lots of good morning comments. Love to see it. Thad, tough loser in the NFL Pigskin Pick'em contest. You'll come back. I got a feeling you're going to come back stronger this week. Yeah, Broncos are trash. What are we talking about here? Yeah, honestly, what are we talking about? That game started off high scoring. I tell you what, if you were holding on to it under 44, yeah, obviously you got to cash, so the game ended with 33, but that game started off just high scoring, 17-10. Then it kind of backed off a little bit there. Yeah, it's always tough weeks. It's always almost. You're going to get them next time, Thad. I believe it. Yeah. Replay punt. Let's see here. We got a Mets F5 hurt. Yeah, Mets had the bases loaded it was either second or third inning. They had the bases loaded. That Mets bet's a good bet. That Mets F5 team total. They got one run. To this guy's, point, Cole, they had bases loaded. They didn't get any runs. So I would make that bet again. It just didn't go the way. Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett. People are banging on Nathaniel Hackett there. So, we got Professor's 7th in the Pigskin Pick'em contest. Love to see that. Oh, and I love the shit talking. Bring it on. Just bring on the smack talking. I love to see it. I'd love to see it. I love to see it. Yeah, and there you go, Thad. You're getting some positive. People are feeling you, man. Feeling you. But Ross is saying next time, Thad, but he really is saying, I mean, not really, because Ross is really going to take it. So he's, love it, Ross. Love it. But you're going to be the one that gets it. All right. Ooh, Brian, sweaty. Yeah, I just jumped off. I was a little late starting this broadcast because I was watching the Kyle Busch announcement to join RCR. If you guys are NASCAR fans, one of the big things that came out of that was RCR is going to have 3 charters next season. In NASCAR, starting this past season, you can lease a charter as opposed to buying a charter. You can lease a charter for 1 year. People thought Tyler Reddick was going to be out of the 8 and maybe move to 23-11 early. Maybe Kurt Busch was going to retire, or maybe Kurt Busch doesn't retire, but 23-11 just leases a charter for an extra year. Well, instead, it's going to be Richard Childress saying, no. You're in a contract. You're going to stay. You're going to hang around for another year. Not going to let you leave early, and I'm going to lease a 3rd charter for the 2023 year. So RCR is going to have 3 cars next season. We don't know what number Tyler Reddick will drive, but it's cool to see that they're going to go ahead and lease one. So yeah, I'm disgusted, Tim. It sounds like we were both on that parlay. I know you hit me up on Twitter yesterday. We were both on it. And then Ross coming in with the keen advice. I'm disgusted with my NFL Week 1. Maybe some other people are, but it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So let's jump on into it, fellas. All right, what else are we doing on today's show? Let's jump right into it. We talked about the eliminator. Let's just go right to Champions League. Man, I need a tissue. Let's just go right to Champions League. All right, I got 2 plays for you, fellas. First play is a play on mine. It's Bayern. It's Barcelona. It's both teams to score. You guys remember this fixture from last year when Bayern went to the Camp Nou? It was earlier in the campaign, and we had Bayern at -105. You guys remember that? And we took it. all right, well, Barcelona's a lot better this season. So I'm not willing to say Barcelona on the money line, but I'm loving both teams to score. You always fancy you always fancy Bayern scoring, generally speaking, in all matches. And they're getting beat up in the Bundesliga. I know they went in, last week and had a nice result, kept a clean sheet, but I tried to warn people that there was no Lukaku in that game, and that was going to hurt Inter's chances of scoring without Lukaku. I definitely think Barcelona's scoring. The Lewandowski coming back to Munich on his old stomping ground. I love both teams to score. And then this Liverpool-Ajax, look, the head-to-head has been 1-0, 1-0 the last two times. Remember, these teams hooked up in the last Champions League campaign and went 1-0, 1-0. So I know the narrative is Ajax kind of a high-scoring team. Liverpool is kind of high-scoring. You guys remember we were on Napoli last week. I feel like I've got a good pulse of what Liverpool is, at least earlier on in this season. And the fact is, they're not all that great. They can't afford just to get in an open game with Ajax. You just can't afford it. They don't have it so far this season. So I actually think that stays under 4.5. And again, the recent head-to-head thinks you could almost take under 2.5, but I wanted to give myself some cushion. Absolutely wanted to give myself some cushion. So I put together that parlay. And then this other one is a collab here with Oblivion Sports. As you can see on the screen, his real name's Eric. He's a good buddy of mine. Been following him for the last few seasons and interacting with him. And I've even gotten on his YouTube channel from time to time. This guy loves the cards angle. You guys know I also like the cards angle. I hit him up yesterday. I was just running out of time and didn't have didn't have time to research the cards angle. This guy is all over cards and in all the leagues. This is one of his favorite plays is targeting cards. I hit him up. I was like, quite frankly, dude, I need a win. Like, shit's not going my way, last 9-10 days. Some of it's self-inflicted, bad beats. It's kind of the whole gambit. And I hit him up and said, I need a win. And I don't have time to research the cards. And I know you do, and I know you love it. I need it. I absolutely need a winner. So this is his play. I didn't. It's a collab, but I didn't contribute a damn lick to this play. It was literally me saying, I need a win, my man. This guy sells his plays. He doesn't give anything away for free. This is one of those guys that sells it. Again, I've known this guy for 3 soccer seasons. He's one of my buddies. His name's Eric. I'm rolling with it. He likes it. It's at plus money. I trust his work. Again, that one, if you tail me per se, you're really just tailing Eric, because I didn't contribute anything to that play. So with that being said, I cannot wait. I wanted to grab my phone. I left it on the charger. It's 10 steps away. Let me grab it. So I wanted to at least talk about the other Champions League matches, even though that's the only bets I got. So give me 1 second here. Come on, guys. Hold on. Blow my nose too, and then I'll jump in this comment section because Champions League, baby, loving Champions League. All right, let's talk about these games. I'm not going crazy today, guys. I need to hit on my play. I just need to turn some effing profit. All right, the other one was it Pleasin versus Inter. No real feel on that one. This Sporting versus Tottenham one, I tell you guys, I was leaning over 2.5 goals. You dig into this though. Sporting, at least in terms of playing against teams in the Premier League, they do not fare very well. They've gotten clean sheeted by teams in the Champions League. 4 consecutive lose to nils at home versus English opposition in the Champions League. Themselves, they're at home. Sporting has failed to score in 5 of their last 6 losses. So if you think you like Tottenham today, you're like, okay, well, that doesn't guarantee Sporting is going to score just because they're at home. They haven't scored in 5 of their last 6 losses. I don't know. I was on over 2.5. Then I started digging into that research, and I got put off of over 2.5. In terms of Leverkusen versus Atletico Madrid, I'm still hurting from that under 2.5 loss, quite frankly, from Porto. That's not why I delayed off this match, but I don't really know what to expect. This is a Leverkusen team that makes me a little bit nervous in terms of what they're going to get because they're in 19th place in the Bundesliga. That's not where Leverkusen's going to end up, but they need to dig up out of that hole. I'm not saying they're going to give up on Champions League, but they're in a tough draw. You could see where their tactics change a little bit and they focus domestically on the Bundesliga and then just bow out of this and just kind of save their domestic season. That being said, it's early. It's early to be in 19th place, but they are at 19th. Yeah, still hurt, quite frankly, from last week. So laid off of that game. I've got to bet on Bayern Barcelona. I've got to bet on Porto. I've got to bet on Liverpool Ajax. And in terms of Marseille versus Frankfurt, Frankfurt was a little disappointing, quite frankly speaking. Last season's Europa League champions at home against Sporting, they lost 3-0. They didn't even score a goal at home, so just a little bit unsure in that. So I'm just going to stick to these 3 plays and hopefully go 2-0. Quite simply put, hopefully go 2-0. So that's what we're going to do today, fellas. Make us some money in Champions League. We've got a nice little parlay here. We've got Bayern and Barcelona, both teams to score. You can sign me up for that. Inter on the money line. You ain't signing me up for that at all. There's no chance in hell you're signing me up for an Inter money line. Is Lukaku back? Lukaku's still out. No chance in hell you're going to find me on Inter money line. Spurs money line? Sure. I believe that should happen, John. But good luck with that parlay. That's going to be tough. Yeah, you'd like to think so. I like it. Yeah. Like I said, under 3, I was considering a standalone play at under 2.5. But once I'm dropping in a parlay, it's like, okay, give myself a little bit of breather. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I liked under 2.5. So, of course, I like under 3.5 as well. Yeah, I know some states don't have cards. That's really stupid. It's really stupid. What book for the cards? I got it over at Bet Rivers. Same thing, Barstools. Just like Thad's comment, though, let me put his back up. Some states don't allow you to bet on cards. It's the dumbest thing. We've learned it last season when guys were unable to tail the bets I put in on cards. I don't know. For some reason, some states don't allow it. So if you see your state and you don't see it, well, you're like Michigan. You just don't have it. But in terms of which book did I bet it on, I bet it on Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers. I liked under 2.5. If I'm betting it, that I'm right there betting under 2.5. I just I can't take three more goals in injury time. But I would be betting that. I would absolutely be betting that. Haven't looked at tomorrow's games yet. We got to get to that. Again, haven't looked at tomorrow's games. Sure. I guess that's a game today in La Liga. I have no idea. I have no idea if that's in La Liga. Marseille on the money line? Sure. All right. Cool. All right. So that's how I'm rolling today, boys. That's how we're going to roll Champions League. Can I just go 2-0? Can I just go 2-0? All right. Let's talk some baseball. Let's not forget, baseball's still out there. We hit a good nerfie yesterday. Again, the Mets had traffic on the bases. It just didn't quite come out, and Anderson pitched a hell of a game. Just unfortunately wasn't striking out anybody along the way. With that being said, let's talk these baseball bets. Let's throw them up here on the screen. Got them on the other side, so therefore we can leave the soccer up at the same time. And, of course, we'll talk about every single game from a money line, run line, over-under perspective. But I just want to fire out a few things. I love this Red Sox F5 team total. Where is my notes? Let's get my notes up out of here. I talked about this one live on TikTok yesterday. Talked about how we are going to be on this. We've talked about Garrett Cole's struggle at Fenway. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks. That was his lone appearance this season at Fenway. You look at him in 2021 at Fenway. 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 home runs, 2 walks. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 home run. And then his last one at Fenway in 2 more. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 home run. And then another 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 3 home runs, 2 walks. So you can see this bet is cash every single time he's pitched at Fenway the last 2 seasons. He goes to Fenway, and these are getting hit numbers. These aren't just scraping across 2 runs and cashing a bet. This is absolutely pitching in Fenway and getting absolutely rocked. Okay, well, starting pitching is not everything. We also care, of course, what is the batter doing? Well, what is the Red Sox doing versus right-handed pitching? Everything we look for right here. The Red Sox are hitting .288 for an average. They're slugging .424. Their OPS is .801, and their strikeout percentage is below 20%. We love that at 19.7. So give me a team that's crushing right-handed pitching. Give me a team that crushes Garrett Cole at home. I love that bet. And then I liked... Again, I talked about that bet yesterday on live, so I bet it accordingly, over 1.5 team total. Then you dig into it. It's like, well, give me the whole goddamn F5 over, because you've got Nick Pivetta on the mound, and he's gotten absolutely rocked by the Yankees. Listen to these stats. Going up against the Yankees, 3.1 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 runs, 2 home runs, 2 walks. 4.1 innings pitched, 7 hits, 7 runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks. And then in the season opener, 5.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 home runs. This guy gets rocked by the Yankees. In 3 appearances, he's gotten absolutely shelled by the Yankees. Again, starting pitching isn't everything. We want to know how you are as a hitter. Yankees are 266, 494 slugging, and 831 OPS, and their strikeout percentage is under 20% at 19.3%. So, of course, at plus money, I had to add on that bet. Absolutely had to add on that bet. So, love that one. Well, another bet we talked about yesterday on TikTok Live was doing the Twins F5 team total. They're going up against our guy Chris Bubik. They've only rocked him in his only appearance this season. 5.2 innings pitched, 10 hits. 10 hits and 5.2 innings pitched, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, and 3 walks. We know Bubik, he's going to get hits, he's going to walk guys, and we obviously love that Twins offense. So we'll take that F5 team total over 2.5 runs, and then let's run back our only winner yesterday was that Nerfian Braves-Giants. We don't need to talk about from an offensive standpoint. We know how these two teams are struggling versus right-handers, and we know how these two teams are struggling to score in the first inning. So we look at starting pitching. You got Junis on the mound here for the Giants. 15 starts, 0 runs. My man has not given up a run yet this season in the first inning. And 15 starts, you can add in 15 Ks. And Kyle Wright was on the mound there for the Braves. 9 runs and 26 starts, and he's bringing 26 Ks to the mound there in the first inning. Love everything about that Nerfy, so we'll gladly go ahead and run that back. And again, you can see I bought that one at PointsBet at minus 115. Let's talk about some other things here because we are incorporating payoff pitch as part of the daily show. So let's talk about some other baseball leans. You could do a same game parlay in this Dodgers versus Diamondbacks game. Boy, the Dodgers have 4 players that have really nice averages against Merrill Kelly. You got Turner that's hits 450 in his career. Smith is hitting 438. Muncie's hitting 429. And Freddie Freeman's hitting 417 in his career. So those are 4 starters. 4 guys are going to be in the lineup today for the Giants that all slug over 400 against Merrill Kelly with decent sample sizes. This isn't like a 2 for 5 sample size against Merrill Kelly. All these guys have significant at-bats against Merrill Kelly. So maybe you're looking at a same-game parlay. If you want to find 2 guys where you can just drop in a parlay of over 0.5 hits, why not go to this Yankees Red Sox game? Tommy Pham has got great numbers off Garrett Cole. He's hitting 370 off him in his career. That's 10 for 27. And then on the flip side, maybe look at Giancarlo Stanton of the Yankees against Nick Pivetta. He's hitting 400 against him. He's got 8 hits and 20 at-bats. So whether you do a same-game parlay backing Dodgers players and predominantly backing those 4 players, or if you do a Pham and a Stanton parlay of over 0.5 hits, I love all 3 of those plays. Let's talk about some pitching props. Ones I was close to pulling the trigger on, but I'm just going to try and stick to my best plays and really just try to turn some goddamn profit. Just need to turn some profit, simply put. But love Jose Suarez there of the Angels, under 4.5 Ks at minus 148. I actually only get a live look at that line. Give me a second here, guys. If that's gotten better, I want to bet it. We know the Guardians just do not strike out. I can hit you with the stats here. Yeah, it's still at minus 148. That's why I didn't bet it. But the Cleveland Guardians are only striking out 14.6%. How many times this season have we taken the opponent from the Guardians and faded him from a strikeout perspective and been rewarded? It's been a fair amount of times this season. So that play is not all that shocking because the Guardians at 14.6% just remain a really good non-strikeout team. Wish the juice was a little bit less than minus 148 or I'd pull the trigger on that. But it is what it is. The other one I like here is Ken Waddlechuck. Here of the Athletics, think he'll go over 4.5 Ks at minus 130. You look at the flip side of the Rangers, they're striking out 29.6% of the time. That is extremely high at 29.6%. And to go along with the really piss-poor strikeout percentage, their batting average is 211 versus left-handers. So I don't expect them to do much of Waddlechuck and expect them to strike out in the process. Again, that one's at minus. Let's get a live line. Let's get a live look at that and see if that price has gotten better. I'm just on DraftKings, a random book. It's still at minus 130. So I'm going to lay off of that one just because of the juice. But those are 2 guys I like. Suarez of the Angels, under 4.5 Ks, and Waddlechuck of the Athletics, over 4.5 Ks. Let's go ahead and do rapid fire because maybe it'll answer some of these questions about maybe an over, an under, or a money line, or a run line. And hopefully that'll answer. And then we'll Joe. Oh, yeah. And then, guys, the thing I meant to talk about. You guys know. Oh, man. This is how I know I'm just not pushing the right buttons. What did we talk about on yesterday's show? What player prop did we want to add last night? Did anybody bet Javonte Williams? Did anybody bet Javonte Williams over 15.5 receiving yards? Now, do we make that bet next weekend? Well, are the Seahawks still bad at covering the running back from a receiving standpoint? Because he got 65 yards yesterday. So you can look at it and say, okay, well, the Seahawks were terrible in that last season. We know we cashed. And it looks like it translated over. Or he had 11 catches on 12 targets. Or is that an angle that we play on Javonte Williams of taking his over on his receiving yards? I'm taking a stab at it next week. I'm going to venture to say, because he had 11 receptions on 12 targets, that's just a focal point, and Nathaniel Hackett offense is utilizing the running back. I'm going to be on that play in week 2. I don't know who the Broncos are playing, but I'm going to likely be on Javonte Williams. But that's just typical of like kicking a man while he's down, right? Can't push the right buttons. And of course, the player prop I talked about yesterday on his show, wanting to add it, loved it, didn't add it, and of course it cashes easily. It went way over 15.5 yards. So that's how she goes sometimes when you're running like I am. I'm jumping into a random sports book. Let's talk about all these games from money line, run line, and over/under perspective. Let's do it, boys. And then we'll get back into all right, these comments. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off here. We've got a game starting at 11:35 between the Pirates and Reds with an over/under of 9.5. Pirates at plus 115, Reds at minus 135. Yesterday I gave out the over. The over hit. I like the over again today. I think this is going to be an over series, so I'm going to go right back to yesterday's play of playing the over in Pirates and Cubs. Angels and Guardians, over/under of 8. Angels plus 115, Guardians minus 135. Told you guys yesterday, love the Guardians at minus 120. The Guardians money line cash. How can you not like the Guardians again? Better offense, better bullpen by far. Starter Morris versus Suarez is probably a wash, so I'm going to take the Guardians by far. Not even second guessing that. Give me the Guardians. Astros and Tigers, over/under of 8. Astros minus 225. Tigers plus 190. We were on the Astros yesterday in moneyline parlay. We're not getting off the Astros. Hunter Brown looked good in his MLB debut 5 days ago. Hutchinson's trash for the Tigers. Of course, give me the Astros in that one. Phillies and Marlins, over/under of 7. Phillies plus 110. Marlins minus 130. Alcantara versus Falter. How can you not like Alcantara? Cy Young season, so sign me up for the Marlins. The only thing I'll say about that is I like the over more because Bailey, Falter, and Alcantara both faced that opponent 5 days ago. So we know there's a lot of familiarity. Alcantara, if you actually look at his game log, this is going to be the 4th time he's faced the Phillies this season. Started off good, got hit a little bit 5 days ago. As the Phillies have been seeing him more and more often, they've had more success off him each time. Again, that's no surprise. Hitter familiarity is a big thing in baseball. I'm going to go over 7. I like over 7 more than the Marlins money line. So give me over 7 and Phillies and Marlins. Orioles and Nationals, over/under of 8.5. Orioles minus 155. Nationals plus 135. I'll gladly take minus 155 in the Orioles, and I'll take over 8.5. The Nationals are smoking, absolutely smoking right-handed pitching. I think they were number 1 or number 2, if I recall. Yeah, the number 1. They're hitting .344, slugging .507, and OPS of .892. The Nationals are on fire versus right-handers. Easily give me over 8.5. Cubs and Mets, DeGrom versus Sampson. Just skip it. Nobody needs me to talk about a money line that's minus 410, so we'll just roll right on past Mets and Cubs. Yankees and Red Sox, over/under of 8.5. Yankees minus 165. Red Sox plus 140. Just take the over. Don't even complicate it. Take the over 8.5. No brainer. Royals and Twins, over/under of 8. Royals plus 155. Twins minus 180. Joe Ryan versus Bubik. I'm taking the Twins on the run line at plus 115. Brewers and Cardinals, over/under of 7.5. Brewers plus 155. Cardinals minus 180. I'm taking the Cardinals. They're a good money line parlay piece. Jordan Montgomery against Matt Bush. Like everything about the Cardinals, obviously, so they're good money line parlay piece. Athletics and Rangers with an over/under of 8.5. Athletics plus 120. Rangers minus 140. I think this is a good under spot. Athletics and Rangers are both struggling versus left-handed pitching, so I like the under in Athletics Rangers, under 8.5. Rockies and White Sox, over/under of 8.5. Rockies plus 165. White Sox minus 195. Kopech versus Cool. I'll take the White Sox. On that money line. Dodgers and Diamondbacks. Where did I? They must not have a lineup for this game. Why don't I? I'm just scrolling here, and I didn't say anything about the Blue Jays Rays. DraftKings doesn't have a lineup. FanDuel's is locked, so that means either the Blue Jays or Rays must have announced a starting pitching change. Either way, I'm sure I'm going to like the Rays. It was on the Rays yesterday. They just blew it in the 8th inning, but anyways, let's keep it going here. Rockies and White Sox did. Dodgers, Diamondbacks. Again, I've got 4 players hitting over 400 against Merrill Kelly. Dodgers the better team. Breeze to a nice easy win yesterday. What did I say yesterday? I said take the Dodgers and take the under. Dodgers cash, under cash. I'm sticking to the same thing. I'll take the Dodgers today. They're a great money line parlay piece. Padres and Mariners over under of 7.5, minus 110 to both sides. I'm actually going to take the Mariners here in this spot with Darvish on the road. So give me the Mariners at minus 110. Then Braves Giants over under of 8. Giants got a surprising win yesterday against the Braves. Braves minus 165, Giants plus 140. I am taking. I'm taking the Braves. They have the advantages. It just didn't work out yesterday. It's 162 games of baseball. That generally is what happens, but I'll take the Braves today in a nice little bounce back spot. All right, let's do it here. Yeah, I know Virginia's another state that doesn't do cards. I don't know why. It just needs to be federally relegated, and then we can get Mets on the run line. Jacob deGrom. I hear you there. All right, so we got a Barcelona versus Bayern, both teams to score, and Liverpool, Ajax, both teams to score. Their Liverpool, Ajax, both teams to score has not cashed, I believe, in the last 3 head-to-heads. I think it's gone, I'm going off memory, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 in the last 3 head-to-heads. Let me double-check that. Oh, no, sorry. It's gone 1-0, 1-0, 0. Oh, no, 0-0 ones from 2003. So there's only 2 head-to-heads that are relevant, and they both went 1-0, 1-0 in Liverpool's favor. So I don't agree that Ajax, Liverpool is going to have both teams to score. Liverpool's got to not get in an open shootout with Ajax, or they're going to be absolutely in trouble. So it's not a parlay I like. Yeah, my leans. I cash Rangers live line. Gave that out as a dog yesterday at plus 105 pre-match. Gave it out at live on TikTok at cash. Over in the Pirates Reds. Leans. Yep. Houston cash easily. Pretty sure they play the Texans next. That's the Broncos. Yeah, I'm going to be on Williams then, whatever his receiving number is. Any numbers on how the Orioles are hitting? Sure. I'll tell you how the Orioles are hitting. Right-hander pitching. They're going against a right-hander today. The Orioles are hitting .218. They're slugging .375. Their OPS is .685. Their strikeout percentage is 19 on the dot. So those are their hitting numbers. You're a Madrid fan, but Barcelona's taking the win. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just expecting goals. I'm expecting goals to be quite honest. I'm expecting goals. And then here's the classic strategy. You can never be wrong with it. Nobody deserves to be minus 410 on the money line as what the Mets are today. So sprinkling anything when any team gets the odds that the Cubs are, or nobody can be mad. It's always a good play. It's always a good play. They're plus 330. So what you're saying is they're plus 330. If the Cubs and Mets played 4 times, you'd only need to get 1 win, and you would win 0.3 units. If the Mets and Cubs played 4 times at the current price, would the Cubs win 1 out of 4 of those games to turn to a profit? The answer, mine would be yes. Now, you'd have to have the discipline to bet all 4 of those, and that's what people don't do is they don't bet all 4. But if you were to bet all 4, you'd only need 1 win to turn a profit. I can't be mad at you for putting a little bit on the Cubs. It makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. Mets are obviously struggling. Now they've lost the lead in the NL East. The Braves are now in first place. Mets are struggling. So can't be mad at you. Is Lewandowski going to score? Obviously, we were on him last week to get a brace, but the opponent was a lot shittier. And don't go looking in that inner game and thinking that there's going to be both teams to score in that one either. Because remember, we lost our Barcelona clean sheet only because the Barcelona goalkeeper had a brain fart and came out of his goal, then took 3 steps and then froze and tried to retreat, and then he was scrambling, and they scored. So to think that game's going to be high scoring, or to think that game's going to be both teams to score, I don't see it. Does Lewandowski score? I don't know, man. Caliber opponent probably puts me off of it, but obviously love him going back to Bayern and pitting one in the back of the net. Yeah, that's why I'm on both teams to score, because Bayern is giving up goals. They're not just walking through the Bundesliga like they normally do. Vincent is exactly right. People are scoring on Bayern. That's why I've got both teams to score. I like it. Yep. I saw that stat actually. So, all right, good luck. I not touching that game. I really want to bet Leverkusen Atletico under 2.5 just out of because I like the bet. Just got screwed last week. But yeah, I like the bet. I like the bet. All right, I think that's how we're gonna do it, fellas. I'm just trying to just go 6-0 today. Just trying to go 6-0 today. Play the best card or play the best bets and turn a little bit of a profit and start making better decisions. I owe that to everybody out there. We gotta do it. So that's how we'll do it, fellas. All right, fellas. Hey, drop on a comment if you're out in that eliminator contest or if you're still in. Throw some frustration. Talk some smack on these comments again. Let's have some smack being talked. Let's talk some shit. Everybody enjoys that. So, all right, fellas. It's Tuesday. Let's turn a profit today. Please turn a profit today. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. Appreciate you guys kicking off another morning with me here on Winning Bets. Let's come back tomorrow on Wednesday. More Champions League, more baseball. We'll do it all over again. Have a good one, fellas.